Welcome everybody out. Where's your huddle board? Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome everybody. I hope you're doing well. Tonight's podcast is going to be a little bit shorter. I've had a rough and horrible and garbage day today, and I'm going to tell you all about it. But I want to make sure that we have a really good topic for you. And this was a pure burst of inspired thought that came to me the other day when Mr. Montero and I were doing a boot camp at Petty Coach Schmidt, fantastic company. And it is this: where's your huddle board? Your huddle board is in your head. And so we're going to talk about the fact that, well, actually, I don't even want to ruin it for you. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of things ahead of this podcast, and then we're going to get right into it. So next week is the Germany trip. So I do want to tell you, again, Elevate Construction will pretty much be dead to the world for just about a week. We'll be in a completely different time zone. However, we're going to be doing what I call the Germany series, where we'll be doing podcasts from Germany from some of the things that we're learning. Hopefully everybody will really enjoy that. And I'm excited about it. A little bit nervous too, hoping nothing gets shut down with COVID. It's a super long flight. I need to figure out if anybody knows how to download movies on YouTube on my account to where it'll play without Wi-Fi. I need somebody to let me know, because I stinking can't figure that out. And I literally fly like 2 times a week. It's ridiculous. Two like flights, meaning I board a plane like 4 to 6 times a week, and it's ridiculous. That's probably why I'm a little bit sad. But anyway, so Elevate Construction, we do project recovery, training, consulting. If you have a question, let us know. We want to help. If you want to attend a boot camp, do any of our certification trainings. We also do certification trainings for the last planner system. We do it for TAC training. We can even do it for any type of scheduling system. If you want to know scheduling theory, we do those, and we do masterminds for superintendents, for foremen, for project managers, all virtual. Any position that you might need, please let us know. So, and what am I excited about in life? Little topic. I'm like, you know what? People are going to know that I'm BSing them. I'm just going to tell you, I'm a little down. Today, I was with a client that I don't know that I was able to help very much, meaning they had already picked up so much information. We're doing the right things. When I attempted to optimize their schedule, and it was like, they already have an optimized schedule. They already have it beautifully formatted. They already have a plan. They already are heading into this project doing well. They already, and after, digging through and rooting around, and thank God for them for wanting to get better. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't know if I can add a ton of value. And I personally thrive on being able to add value. So I was a little bit bummed. And I spent all day, went there, super early. And then like literally it's 9:20 right now. Just got back. Now I'm doing a podcast. And Katie was like, how are you doing? And I said, I'm just a little bit bummed. I'm away from family a lot. And we're pivoting at Elevate Construction to do a whole lot more virtual, a whole lot more training where people fly to Phoenix so that I don't kill myself traveling around the country, right? So I'm just a little bit down, and I'm like, I can't lie. I'm not excited today. I need to. So anyway, I'm hopefully that's like an example where if you're down, you just tell somebody. If you're tipped over, one of my good friends, Weston Woolsey, he's like, are you tipped over? And that's symbolic of like if you tipped over a piece of equipment or tipped over, spilled your glass or something like that. And it's super impactful to me because on a project one time a backhoe did tip over, and it was like one of the worst things that's ever happened in my career. So I just feel a little bit tipped over. But anyway, I'll be fine. I just want to let you know I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. However, I have a killer podcast topic tonight because I like this was a pure burst of inspired thought, so I can't wait to get to it. So let's talk about some fans and feedback. Jason finished podcast 200 as well as 201, 202, and 203 this morning. I've been holding off on writing as I'm behind on your content. I hope to catch up to your output prior to episode 400. You have provided some much needed motivation in a career that I felt I have been treading water in. I have taken a promotion coming through the office, and the current chaos is a bit off the charts. Immediate leadership is lacking vision, or at least the ability, willingness to share it. I am bettering myself, listening to your podcast and tackling about one book per week, and you have provided quite a reading list while trying to fight fires and set up future projects for success. As I wrap up the podcast, I intend to read through your published book roster and am working to attend the LCI Congress this year in October. Keep up the good work as we both keep moving forward. Thank you. And I just, isn't that a sweet message? I just really, really like that. I think that's super sweet and super nice. So thank you to the person who sent it. So here's the conflict. Your huddle board is in your mind. So let me tell you where I kind of got this. So the first time I started consulting and traveling around the country was when I went to a job in Florida. And this isn't Petty Coach Schmidt. Those people are fantastic. But this was a long time ago. This was like probably 8-10 years ago. And I went to a project, and he had told me, the superintendent told me that he was doing lean. He was like, here's a huddle board, here's this, here's that. And we walked around the project, and it was still unsafe, chaos, dirty, no organization. But he was proud. He's like, look at this, look at this. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what's going on? And the chaos came from the fact that nobody knew the plan. His master schedule wasn't anywhere to be seen. They didn't know what the short interval schedule was. That he didn't have a weekly work plan. And when I posed the question of, how do people know where they're headed? He was like, oh, I tell them. What do you mean you tell them? Well, yeah, I have the plan. It's all in my head. And he said it to me with such a sense of pride that what do I want to say? I was taken aback, I think is how you say it, and pondered on it. I don't even remember if I said something in the moment, like it caught me so much off guard. And I thought about it and realized that one of the largest problems that we have with superintendents is they keep their plan in their head. And so I started watching that and tracking superintendents and some of the things that were detrimental to their careers and why they weren't getting promoted. So this was one of 6 major things. And you hear me repeat them all the time. I'm not going to repeat them again. But one of the 6 major things that superintendents do wrong when they can't get promoted from like a super 1 or a 2 to a 3, 4, or 5 is they keep the plan in their head. So pondered that throughout the years, was tracking it. I've repeated over and over and over and over the concept that we have to get that out of our head. It does nobody any good if it was in their head. Okay, so stay with me on that. The other thing is I'll go visit projects, and I'll give you a notable project. I was in Sacramento, California, visiting a construction project. It was an $80 million project, visiting with the superintendent. And when I went into the office, I was going to spend like 3 hours with him. The superintendent got phone call after phone call after phone call after phone call. And I even heard him in the office with a trade partner explaining that they would have to come 2 days. I can't remember if it was 2 days earlier or later, but anyway, I could tell that the person on the other end of the line was really, really upset that they had a previously agreed upon date, but that plan changed. And now that trade partner, that foreman, that superintendent on the other end of the line was going to have to reroute like 15 trucks and large orders of material for civil work and a number of things. And so things started to get heated, and he was getting grumpy and very dictatorial and just, like, hey, this is the way it's going to be, very hard-nosed about it. And the conversation went on for a while. Then he came back and then gone again for a call. And then somebody walked in, and then somebody came in and asked a question. And then he popped up because of an alarm, and he was supposed to go do something. Like literally, I probably in a 3-hour meeting saw the superintendent. I'm not even exaggerating. 15 to 20 minutes max. 15 to 20 minutes max. It was ridiculous. So that's been on my mind. I'm like, superintendents can't just go around fighting fires. This is absolutely ridiculous. We have to get our head above our and we have to get our head above our backside. You know what I always say, and really, leverage proper organization and stability. And so that's been on my mind as well. And only at the boot camp recently, where we were working with Petty Coach Schmidt, the wonderful people that are over there, did I realize something that's really quite key, and that is that the reason that people are being bombarded with all of these questions and playing savior and fighting fires and grabbing their phone and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Oh, there's another phone call. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm so needed. Oh, I got to step out of this meeting. Oh my gosh. And they look so busy. And it's like, oh, you're so wonderful. You get a phone call every 15 minutes. You're so needed. Like the reason that happens is because the huddle board for the job is in their mind. And I never put two and two together or one and one or, or whatever that looks like. But the huddle board is in their head. How profound of a thought is that? So people will go and reference where the huddle board is, meaning if the huddle board is in the superintendent's mind, they're going to constantly access that phone, email, data, visits, interrupting meetings over and over until the superintendent is so drunk with power and like this feeling of self-importance that he gets addicted to the adrenaline rush of it all and never really has time to do anything else except for answer questions and play savior with people. Okay. But if the huddle board is an actual visual board on the project side that shows the overall attack plan schedule, that shows the 6-week make ready look ahead, the weekly work plan, the logistics plan, and where materials are being staged, right? Production, roadblocks, all of the critical things that we would have to have or that we would get to have on a huddle board, people will go reference that visually and reference the plan instead of referencing the plan inside the leader's mind. So this whole time I've been complaining about two separate things, but not really knowing how to fix it. And now it's like, voila. Ooh, I might even have a sound for that. Nope, it's not playing. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn that on. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Okay, there's the harp right there. I'm not going to do that too much. You don't have to worry. I just, it was so good. I really, I really just had to do that. So here's the thing that we have to do in order to fix this, in order for us to get stability, in order for us to be doing the things that we need to be doing and have production work, then we need to get that huddle board out there. Now, a couple things. Huddle boards are not easy to make. You might need to spend some money on it. You might need to print some things. You might need to experiment. Here's what it's probably going to look like for you. Okay, you're gonna get some outlines. You're gonna read the book Elevating Construction Superintendents, and you're gonna get the outline and say, okay, these are the things I want to show. I want to show my tag plan. I want to show my make ready look ahead. I want to show my weekly work plan. I want to show my roadblocks, my logistics, my sequence maps. I want to show my shout outs, my daily agenda. These typical things. These are the things that I want to show. Then you're going to start printing things. And it's going to be too small, or it's going to be too awkward, or you're going to have to tape things together, or you're going to have the huddle board outside. It's going to rain on it, or it's going to blow down, or you'll have stickies, and the stickies are going to fall down, and all of these things, all of the things, right? All of the things that go wrong. And you're going to give up. And then the huddle board is going to go back into your mind because you don't have to use the printer, because you don't have to use the tape, because you don't have to use the scissors, and because you don't have to pick up the stickies. But that is an absolute mistake. We have to press forward with the huddle board. So here's what it can look like next. You start to experiment with different prints. You get a huddle board that's weatherproof. You get a huddle board that's larger that people can see. And then maybe your third step in this evolution is actually just ordering some signs and just saying, hey, you know what? On this job, we have the budget and it's important enough. I just need to order myself and I'll just go ahead and give you some ideas. A 4x8 or a 4x6 sheet of the dry erase marker, the whiteboard with the expo covering, where you have the actual 3-week look ahead schedule or 6-week look ahead schedule with sticky sized boxes as the format and as the sizing so that you can go through and do your schedules. Then maybe once you have your attack plan done, because you don't change that much, you actually get a attack plan either plotted or printed on the Corplast, right? And maybe you get yourself a really nice, all of your maps printed out on the board, your whether they're plan views or it's site work or it's elevations or whatever it is, and you get them, and on your huddle board you put plexiglass on top of it so you can actually write with dry erase markers over the top of it and show where deliveries are going and the logistics and the flow and the haul routes and things like that. Maybe you get yourself your own roadblock board formatted with the Dry Erase Expo. Now you're going to get yourself the dry erase markers in a little box and screw it to the board. Then you'll get yourself an eraser, right? Then you're tricking this thing out, right? Now you've got the agenda printed, which you want to follow constantly. Ooh, now you have your tack plan, but you even want to improve on that. And you get a little piece of string and you put a tack on the top and the tack on the bottom so that everybody knows where the current date is on the tack plan. When you start working through this and you begin to enjoy it, right? And then you're like, okay, the stickies are falling off on the board. So instead of using the stickies, I'm going to use dry erase marker. Oh, and now here's a key indicator. Here are my KPIs on my board that I can use. And you just start improving it until you end up like these jobs that have really remarkable huddle boards and huddle rooms and conference rooms. On the Lean Tact YouTube site and on the Elevate Construction site, I show examples on there of these boards, these huddle areas that are remarkable that the superintendents use constantly day in and day out with full effect very nicely. And they do a very nice job, and it's very easy and it's very self-sustaining. So to get to that point, it's going to take, again, and I'm going to repeat David Goggins on this, all the non-cognitive skills like grit, determination, stick-to-itiveness, just an absolute fierce desire to get it done and to get it done right? This is what it's going to take for you to get these huddle boards set up. It's going to take all the non-cognitive skills. Now, to make it easier on you, I have put on the elevateconstructionist.com website, and I do want to mention that, and this isn't a guilt trip. This is just, there's no reason to not go partake of this, and use these resources for free. If you go to the website, go into field resources, then to lean signage, and you scroll down, we have all of the boards you need. We have any hoist, potable water, project expectation boards, huddle agenda boards. We have the teaming principle boards, the construction planner system, the weekly meeting plan, the quality process, the team coverage plan, the project delivery board. We have the day plan huddle board up there, the 6-week make ready look ahead board, the banner. We have all this stuff. It's all formatted here, free for you. You can go ahead and just replicate that, take an image, print it out yourself, or you can have it made through a signage company. But I guess what I'm saying is the reason that I at Elevate Construction, that one of the first things I did was post these signs available for people to order, is because it's one of the first fundamental things that you have to have in your company and on your project to run a stable site, these visual control systems. So we can't do without them. We just can't run a project without them because it's fundamental. So when I first started this, and any lean scaling effort that I've ever been a part of, it was like, okay, step 1, get the signs ready. Step 2, get your trailer ready. Get your huddle board areas ready, and get it out of your head because it's just that fundamental. So here's my challenge. Right now, superintendents are playing savior with people. You're burning through adrenaline, having too much of a sense of importance because they're so needed, when it's just not the way superintendents do things. If you're fighting fires, then you're not doing your job as a superintendent. Or if you work with a superintendent that's fighting fires, they're not doing their job as a superintendent. It's not done. It shouldn't be done, and I don't want you to do it, and I do want you to stop doing it. And so the answer is to get your huddle board set up, get it out of your head. And I would just say, if you're running multiple projects or one, or if you have multiple areas, or if you're very busy, as long as you get your instructions, your to-do list items, everything that needs to be done for the project, clearly communicated in huddles, and then allow it to remain on the huddle boards, you are going to be wildly successful, because that's where people will go, and you can go back to doing what you should be doing, which is steering the ship, keeping the ship in orbit, and sailing forward. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.